Bing bong, motherfucker.
Close enough.
Knox pronouns are
Bing bong. put that in your pronouндictionary.com, bitch.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Said through a grin.
It's actually not bad today.
It was actually nice.
It is the eye of the storm.
Nice today. It is the eye of the storm. It is also the new year. Happy New Year's,
Happy New
everybody.
Year's,
Happy
everyone.
New Year. It is officially 2023.
I hope all your resolutions come true and we go to a fun and awesome 2023.
And you can read this, Knock.
I hope your year is gay as fuck.
Yeah, there you go.
Apparently.
Hey, everybody, this is Liza, and I am back behind the board. We got a lot of people out. Some people are on the road, some people are sick, and some people are trapped due to landslides.
Literal landslide. Yeah.
Yes, I said, you know what?
They're alive. They're just the roads are fucked is all.
everyone
They're
stay
not trapped
home.
in the land.
Right,
Everyone
yeah.
stay home. Yeah, we got the Flatlanders in here today.
We're experiencing some minor flooding, allegedly.
Yes. But joining me here in the studio to help ring in 23, we
Ding dong.
have Miss Emma.
Aloha, darling. And I am Duchess of the Flatlands.
Duchess of the Flatland.
Yes. No, I'm thrilled to be here.
Joining her on the classy girl couch to class it up.
Yeah.
Let
Let me tell you something
it's
about
everybody's favorite dirty uncle. It's not.
Let me tell you something about Tesla drivers, okay? No. Just what's wrong with these people? Who are these people?
Wait, are they the new Prius drivers?
I think they've exceeded
Which is worse?
the next step. They're way worse.
Which is worse?
The Tesla driver owners.
You know, there was a thing here for many years where we were like, oh, Prius are the worst. They drive so slow. And then we went to
Yeah.
Pakistan, and I got caught behind a Prius in Pakistan. I'm like, oh my God, it's global.
So it started out with Volvos and then Priuses and then I think it's Teslas.
What about the
Especially
Camry? I feel that's
Yeah,
an
no,
underrated, real bad
I don't know. There's a lot of people drive Camrys.
Yeah,
It's hard
there's a certain category of Camry driver, and I think the problem is with Camrys is Camry owners think they've actually got more than they actually have. So it's
Well,
like
they're
hold
better
on.
than Corolla drivers. Also joining us is Craig the Giant.
Good day, all.
Yeah.
good day.
Do you like that one? I'm trying that out for size. Craig the Giant. You like that, Emma?
Craig the Tall. That sounds like medieval, man. I am
I
Craig
think
the Tall.
I think
Or just Giant Craig?
Throw an axe wielding.
How about Craig the Handsome and Tall?
I prefer
Lord Handsome and Tall.
Big-footed.
My actual preference is Empire State Human,
Empire Stadium.
which I
Wait,
think is
hold on.
it was appropriate.
Craig, what size shoe do you wear?
14.
Bam. You
There we
got
go.
that? 1-4.
Craig, shoe size 14. Oh, nice.
Like totally putting him on the spot. Like we're just objectifying him. It's
When I
amazing.
go shoe shopping, I say just bring me the 14s and they'll bring like 2 pairs. And
Oh, bring me anything you got.
yeah.
So we have foot bindings instead, sir. We just have wraps.
No, actually, I must admit, you obviously do very well because you always wear a stylish shoe. So, you know,
Let me
it's-
tell you
it's
something about Craig.
Slim pickings.
Except today.
Yeah.
He's got
Like usually. Almost
fantastic
always.
drip. Okay, he's a very stylish man.
Have you been hanging out with the young kids again?
This is true. Not hangs out with young people.
What's this drip?
I know.
I'm like I'm grandpa apparently.
That's so fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
So we got a bunch of people out, but that's okay. There's plenty of misfits to go around.
Well, I think we owe our listeners an excuse as to why their favourites aren't here. So, listed in no particular order.
yeah.
Jim is,
He's sick.
yeah. Jim,
Not the vid.
no, he's not got the Rona, but he has got the flu, and he's not feeling very well.
Yeah.
And then,
John is of the mountain people trapped by landslides.
yeah, John is actually physically trapped in his home by landslides.
He's chopping up his dresser drawer to set up a fire in his living room right now.
No, I think he's actually he's setting fire to Melissa to keep the house warm right now. So no power, trapped inside. It's gruesome.
Yeah.
Damn.
And Bagel is actually close to us. He's nearby, but he couldn't get over the hill to join us.
Oh, he's in the state of California.
He
currently.
is.
He is in the state of
What does he do?
California,
Is he,
but
like-
he's in a state.
Is he in a scoot? Is he
No,
scooting?
no,
Oh,
he
okay.
flew down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And boy, are his arms tired.
But I wanted to talk quickly about Santa brought a little present for the garage.
Yes, a good present too.
I thought you would like it, Em. I think it was more for you than anybody else.
Santa passed the bar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I love my porno.
No, you
God,
don't.
I didn't even think about it.
Didn't even-
Santa brought us a
Where
little
are we going with
TV
this?
for the garage.
Well, I mean, you say it's a little TV up until probably 1985. That would be considered a large TV. How big is it? Like 20,
32.
32. See, 32 was a normal size screen for when we were growing up. I mean, that was a size for TV, but now we consider it a small
TVs
screen.
used to have an electron gun in them. It shot electrons.
Yeah.
On the back of the screen, yes, it did.
Well, just everyone used to watch like YouTube videos and stuff on their phones and pass them around. I was
so
like,
now we've got the actual...
Santa, can you give us a TV for the garage? And we did some cleaning today. There was some flooding. We've had torrential downpours, and I know nobody has any sympathy for us when it's not when it's anything but sunny.
Yeah.
But the reality is, when we get just a little bit of rain, it floods,
Right.
and which causes landslides and flooding and all sorts of
And
problems.
I rebuilt an 18-inch turbo.
Really?
I've rebuilt a fan.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is this for like a truck or something?
No,
18
the
inch?
fan in the garage. Oh. we're cleaning and repairing and
That's
stuff
funny.
like that. Yeah, and enjoying watching Dakar on the TV.
And news for 2023. We're going to have a rearrangement in the garage, and the idea is to make it a little more comfortable. So if anyone wants to
Yeah.
come and visit us, we are going to have a pucker lounge.
We're working on that. Yeah, Knock, you didn't hear that. We looked at rearranging everything in the garage to create a little more seating, a little more of a lounge environment.
New Year's, new you.
You know,
I love it.
All right.
what we're going to aim for is the TWA lounge at Idlewild Airport from 1963. So
You
that
can
kind
smoke
of
inside.
Yeah, you
The
can
bar is
smoke.
set high.
exactly.
Yeah, can I fix it old fashioned? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're gonna be drinking, smoking. There's gonna be no air conditioning. It's gonna be amazing.
That's right.
Hey, I wanted to give a quick ride report, even though it was over a week ago. But since we didn't have our show last week, but instead we dropped our Christmas special. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We had fun making it. Craig, you laughed your ass off at that.
Couldn't help it.
I had to
It
leave
was-
all those in.
I
It was
enjoyed
fun.
myself.
I hope you enjoyed it. And then Emma, you probably don't know this, but there was a conversation on the Discord, on our Discord channel,
Yes.
about cafe racers and the origins, and someone saying, "Hey, it would be great if you guys could talk about that." So we had one that we did for Patreon that was still locked for Patreon listeners only.
Yeah.
All about the cafe racers. So I just threw that up there. for the
Very
public.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting culture, and we can revisit that at some stage during the year because
Well,
I mean it's constantly
we don't have to.
evolving.
Well,
But you dropped it.
I just dropped it. Yeah.
I just feel like how everybody wants to talk about the cafe racer and how it's like how we call people on Highway 9 Ricky racers now or Power Rangers in that same kind of vein, in that kind of joking kind of a sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but I wanted to talk about a quick ride report we did. John and I have talked about us riding out to Hollister Hills, and it's kind of a newer thing. I mean, we used to load all of our dirt bikes up on trailers and take them out there and ride. That's the standard. Craig, that's what you would do. And then Craig and John were like, yeah, let's go to Hollister. We got some time off right before Christmas. And Craig got the news like, oh, no, we don't trailer our bikes there. We ride there because it's cooler to ride there, then ride around, and then ride home. And
Hell yeah.
I think that is a more fun challenge because now you have to have a bike that is freeway capable and dirt capable. We've got the KLRs, my 690 Enduro, which do the job.
Right.
And it's a little bit more of a challenge, wouldn't you say, Craig?
Yes,
It's kind of a fun
definitely.
challenge.
Instead of throwing everything in the truck, you have to add a few layers on road, off road.
Yeah.
It was
And
a little mini adventure.
And
So you were
mini.
you were on the Husky, of course.
No, I was on Liza's KLR and the 690 Adventures. We traded on and off.
Sweet.
So half the time on the 690, half the time on the KLR 650.
Did you notice a big difference between the two?
There was a difference.
Yes.
Was a difference. Yeah, the KLR definitely unrefined tank-ish, and the 690 a little bit more sleek, a little bit more refined. But ironically, I think I like the KLR on the street better.
Yeah.
It's a little more planted. The 690 is a little squirrely above 80. Yeah, so you got to it likes 70 much better than 80.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I threw Craig on that. And also your gear choice has to be something like you said. And it was cold when we went. So, it was cold. So you have to figure out if you're going to be, dressed too warm for Hollister or too cold for the freeway. You know, it's a challenge. So it's fun. And, we went out there and he started out on the KLR and we stopped for breakfast, met Breaking Away Matt for breakfast. And
Oh, shit. That's
cool. And then went out to Hollister, dropped air pressure. Now this, I will accept, this was my bad. Because I said, Craig, here's where we dropped the air pressure. And he said, how low do you want to go? I'm like, I run like 12 to 15, Thinking of like the dirt bikes, not the KLR. And I think you dropped it down to 12. And you were riding around on flat ass tires.
It was probably a little too low for the KLR.
I know this because we took off and did like the first trail where we go halfway and stop and meet. And I took off like a blast on the 690. And I know the trail. And I had so much fun. I get up there and they come limping along a while later. I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, does the KLR have like rim locks or the
No.
bead locks or whatever?
No.
And they're like, yeah, the bike's broken.
Uh-oh.
Now, I put that BMW top case on it, and it's just too heavy for the bolts into the plate on the bottom. So the bolts had come out. And so I'm like, all right, no problem. Here, you take the Enduro, and I'll take the KLR back down to the store and just screw it back together.
Sort it out.
But interestingly enough, as we were sitting there at that junction, another guy comes along on a Gen 1 KLR. His name is Brian. Shout out to Brian. He emailed us. He was stoked to see some KLRs.
Real stoked. And he had the gear to match. Big shout out to Brian. He had the straight Gen 1 gear with the Gen 1 bike. He had the full get up. And he was a really good rider. Led John and I around.
He was leading the KLR life.
Yeah. He's out there riding by himself on the trails. Like we think we're the idiots out there on the big bikes. There was another idiot out there. So I'm like, here, you just take this and I'll limp it back. So I'm riding it with the top case kind of flopping around, but I had some straps. I strapped it on. Yeah. But I start riding and it felt like I was on flat tires. There was a literal delay in turning the wheel. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't know how you were riding like that. I like limped it back and put some air in.
I am going to project that on... I mean, let's be honest. The KLR is a bit porky.
That's a bit,
Yeah, it's a little porky. I would say probably about 20 is about as minimum as
maybe
you want
18.
to
I think 18.
Yeah.
18. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know any better because I had never ridden the KLR off road. So
they're quite
I thought
front
it just had a heavy. I thought
Yeah.
it was just heavy steering, but then I realized it was.
How were the trails? Were they muddy, fucked up, or are they rideable? Nice.
No, they were
packed,
pretty
or-
nice.
Yeah?
I mean, there were
nice.
a little bit of mud, but this was
Interesting.
between storms.
Yeah.
So they take off with Brian to go ride up, and I figured if you guys go up to the top and ride back down, I'll go down to the store and get some tools, and we'll meet back there. So I go down there and fix the bike, put it back together, and they come back and they're like, "Oh, that was great. Let's get a drink, hang out. Okay, you ready to go?" Oh, wait, what? To leave? We're leaving? We're done? I've just done the first half of a trail. And John's like, no, we're done. Were you surprised too?
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
I
I would.
think you're done.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm in Hollister, I can just ride till the sun sets. So I'm
Nice.
down for whatever, though. I'm down for the team. Actually, I liked it so much. I went back the next day with the Husky and rode all day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because we didn't get that much trail riding, but we got enough to get our tickle the.
Yeah, so
fancy.
I was like, okay, I guess we're done. Well, if we're gonna go home, let's ride. Let's do a little bit longer ride home. Go through Gilroy, and I'm like, oh, let's stop at Gilroy Motorsports. I want to see if they have any used 890 Adventures. I want to just check.
Oh,
in,
they still
right?
use shit too.
They have used stuff, so you never
cool.
know what's going to come through. Last time
Right
I
on.
was there was a 1090 Adventure. So we stopped, and then of course I saw Greg, the owner, who's been on our show there. So we start chatting with him, and what was going to be a 15-minute stop
3 hours.
turned into like 3 hours.
That's
Well,
usually
that
how
store
it
is
works.
that store is amazing, and I was
Well, Craig
great-
had never been there, and so of course that turned into Greg gave us a tour, and like he showed us the tank that they put in the back for the ski-doos, so they can
Oh.
test ski-doos.
Oh, crazy!
It's a water tank.
Oh, because they got to run the motor. And
Think
all
of
that
like a
shit,
dumpster full of water.
That's wild.
With,
Okay.
with strap points, so you can strap it in and have it floating
Crazy.
in water and test it.
That is wild.
Yeah, which is perfect because in the building they're in, it had a loading dock. So basically, in the bottom of the loading dock is where they put this tank.
So I guess that's the thing. If you sell power sports equipment, you got to have a tank of water to test the motors, huh?
Yeah, and
the
he's got
Ski-Doos.
so many plans for improvements and stuff like that, and they keep getting robbed, which sucks. People.
Oh, really? Coming in and like smashing and grabbing and shit? Or
Well,
what?
like taking the fence down and coming in. Like they took.
that's fucked.
There was like a side by side on a trailer. They just came.
What?
I mean,
That's
yeah. Ugh. So
Yeah.
they're fighting all that and putting up fences and walls, and we just chatted with him, and he was really nice, and he gave us some really nice discount. You see Craig's sweatshirt,
Sick.
75% off, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell
I like
yeah.
those numbers.
Yeah, so we did some shopping and
And
chatting, and it's fun to have a shop to go and hang out.
It pays to be a cool customer, and that's what you get, man. You get discounts and
Well, not
people
only
give you
cool
tours.
customer, but amazing owner. He was
Yeah.
very impressive. Like most owners, they might not necessarily be complete dicks, but they don't necessarily spend that much time with you. He spent an amazing amount of time with us discussing ideas, possibilities, future business moves. It was a really interesting conversation.
And this is something he said. And I think this is something that we're going to be tracking as we go into 23 because things are about to change a lot in the industry.
Yeah.
So for the last 2 years, we've had a high demand and low supply. Right? That's thanks COVID for that, right?
Yeah.
And what he said was now all the suppliers are cranking out and they're going to be shipping.
Yeah.
Supply is going to be delivered and we're going into a recession. So now the demand is dropping and the supply is about to shoot up. And he's like, we need to figure out other ways to bring sales in, to bring people in, other than just buying a bike.
Yep.
So he's looking into all sorts of different ideas, and we were just shooting the shit with him and pitching ideas and this and that, and maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that, and he's receptive and just was listening and sharing ideas.
It's going to be a very interesting flip. I mean, you're already seeing, I see a lot of parallels with the bicycle industry. The motorcycle industry kind of shares a lot of similarities with that. And there's already articles coming out where bicycle shop owners are getting all the orders that they ordered in 2020. They don't have anywhere to put it because they can't move it. They're having to rent warehouse space and add all these additional expenses being a shop owner. And so I think a lot of that is going to translate to the motorcycle industry. Maybe we were just 6 months or a year behind, but it seems like the factories are catching up now.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. As a consumer, it might be good because the price might drop a little. We might have
Right.
some more availability.
Well, that's
but,
the thing.
but like as a motorcycle store owner, maybe you're not moving quite as much
Well,
product. But I think it's going to require a little bit of creativity.
So, my question to you, Craig. I mean, you put up a very, very good used bike, good quality used bike, at what I thought was a fair price. Have you had many bites?
No, zero.
So, yeah, I mean, you could argue that's the time
It's
of the
already
year,
happening.
Yeah, it could
but it's
be right.
you know.
I'm not ultra. I can't say I'm ultra surprised. It's a little bit of a specialty bike, kind of, for the particular client that might be interested in it. But maybe it's a little surprising. I've got 0 calls.
Yeah. Oh, Emma, as far as your shop volume, or as far as volume of work, I mean, you're always constantly busy because you're one person shop, but like, did you notice like an uptick at all, or no?
No. I mean, summer or winter, I always have more work than I know what to do with, so I'm very, very selective about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And the winter time, I change gearing not because of the markets demanding it, but I've kind of stacked up all these long-term restoration projects, the big builds.
Yeah.
And I say, well, okay, I'll get around to those in the wintertime. And I still get the people, oh, can you service my bikes? Can you change the oil on my bike? Can you change the tires on my bike?
That's always been steady and constant, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The lion's share of my work is tires.
Yeah, okay,
tires.
That makes sense.
Without the tire machine, my bottom line would be a lot less. And tires, if you know what you're doing, God, that bike's ugly. Jesus.
Emma, you're giving away. Don't talk about it.
I'm not going to talk about what it is, but dear God.
Emma, ignore it.
I think you're wrong.
I can't.
I think you're wrong.
But the Lions, I mean, tires are a huge part of what I do and what a lot of smaller shops do. Mm-hmm. And if you're good at doing tires and you don't gouge up people's rims and you're diligent about bolting the bolts up and balancing them and putting them on the right way round and matching up tires and just generally doing a good job, I could probably make a living just doing that. Because if that's all I did...
You get a reputation too doing tires.
She's a one-person shop who's also got a huge following. So she's never going to feel the change.
Well, that's an interesting point. We were having that discussion earlier at the garage, Emma, where you were thinking that you wouldn't be as affected as some of these shop owners, which I agree with. I think that I'm not sure if I'd go as far as say recession proof, but maybe it is recession proof because my industry is kind of similar. It's like when the recession tanks, everyone has more time to get trained and ride, and gas prices or when gas prices rise, then it's like, oh, I want cheaper transportation. So it's kind of like regardless of what the economy is doing, it seems like we share similarities with that.
The absolute worst case scenario with Mototown, is I shutter the shop, end the lease, work out of my garage till the economy picks up, and then when it picks up, look for a new place.
Well, you'll be
That's
fine.
the worst case scenario, but I don't think it's ever going to come to that.
But just as an example, like he's a Honda dealer. You'd be hard to tell because he hasn't had many. He's like, we finally got one Africa Twin in and one Hunter Cub in.
Oh wow!
It was like, yeah. So these are things that everybody wanted 2 years ago when he ordered them.
Right.
And now.
And once you order it, you don't cancel the order, right? It's like once you put it in, is that how it works?
But he only has,
I don't know.
I mean, that's an example of the supply. He only had one and one.
So, hold on. His showroom is just those two bikes as far as Hondas?
He's got a huge showroom.
No, I know, but as far as Hondas goes, he's got dirt bikes, Honda dirt bikes and shit like that, right? Like
there were Honda dirt bikes, but not
a
lot of the big
little
adventure
small
ones.
dirt bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
There was one Yamaha 10RA, and we're like, I bet that's sold.
Yeah, he got one Yamaha 10RA.
It was just candy.
No, it wasn't sold yet.
No, he said it was sold.
Yeah. So he had very few of the bikes everyone's wanted. He's got a lot of Royal Enfields and KTM.
Gotcha.
And Gas. They're the ones who've been delivering.
Gotcha.
But,
so it's mostly power sports and off-road oriented, if not like sport bikes.
Yeah, but he's been getting into everything. And the thing is that it was fun to sit around and talk with him about, ideas. And then we realized, we look outside, oh, it's dark out. Like, it's late.
Yeah.
We just had too much fun. So I asked the guy at the counter, I'm like, is there a good place to eat around here that isn't a taqueria?
Yeah.
Because it's all taquerias out there. Just something, So he said, there's a place, some grill, something, it's not too far from where we're heading up over the mountain. So we ride over there in our dirt bike gear and we go in.
Oh, the old diner. I know exactly where.
No.
Oh, no.
We go in and it is a dimly lit linen tablecloth fine dining restaurant.
Oh, God.
And we look at each other like, are we doing this? Like, yep, let's do it. We go clomping in there in our dirt bike and gear.
Get some of that caviar, bro.
Yes, table for three, please.
Yes, the table for three. Did you have lobster, darling?
No, but I had a nice
Scrimps.
pasta.
You had some pasta.
And we sat down and had some very fine meals, and I'm like, I thought it was a funny choice to send people in dirt bike gear. Anything is not a taqueria. So that turned out just to be a fun evening, and before we jetted home. It
was like
was
Friday,
supposed to be
Saturday?
a day of dirt bike riding, and it turned out to be a day of hanging out, talking to Greg at Gilroy Power Sports and fine dining.
Motorbikes do that sometime, man.
But yeah, no, Greg's a solid cat, and I wish him the greatest, but I am not jealous of navigating a shop of that size through a recession.
Yeah.
Well, going back,
Yes. I can't even imagine what all details he's dealing with.
One more thing, 'cause, like, how many employees does he have? Do you know?
well, and here's the thing: he's having a hard time finding enough mechanics. That's a whole nother thing.
That's another topic.
It's a hard thing, but the thing that's cool is he's just got all these ideas, and he is building different things out, and doing this and doing that. And, he's willing to try that,
Moving and shaking.
And you don't know if an idea is going to be good or bad until you really try it, right?
Hey!
Which brings us to our next segment.
Got him.
Nice segue, Liza.
Thank you. I said I wanted to talk about good ideas and bad ideas.
Oh, God.
And we were talking in the garage. I'm like, there are some like ingenious designs that I wonder, is this a good idea or a bad idea? And sometimes you have good ideas that are failures and you have bad ideas that are successes, right?
It's
So
true.
I wanted to talk about some of these, and kind of this is stemmed out of an article I found from New Atlas on this bike called a Drysdale. Emma, have you heard of this bike before?
Yes.
So this bike is a two-wheel drive, two-wheel motorcycle, two-wheel steering.
You can't tell which
motorcycle.
is the front.
Two-wheel drive, two-wheel steering. Now, yes, this is an ugly bike. Can we all agree
No,
on
man.
that?
I don't know.
If it was a different paint scheme, it might be
Yeah.
a
There
little
is,
It
bit.
is
there is
John Deere green and yellow.
there is nothing.
color
If it
is
was
dog shit,
gray,
okay? Yeah,
the
if it were gray.
yellow
So-
is the worst color.
I wanted to kind of break this down and look at this bike
Okay.
and see, is this a good idea or a bad idea? So first of all,
How does it even steer?
well,
I
look,
don't
there's
even
so much stuff
understand.
on it.
Handlebars
If
behind
you
that
want to
shield,
take,
I'd
if you want to
imagine.
take a look at, just look up Drysdale two-wheel drive motorcycle. So first of all, did you guys look at how these wheels are constructed?
Yeah. It looks like they're hub steering, front and rear.
But look how the
and it's the spokes are dished.
spokes are dished.
They're
One
single?
side, single-sided mount, dished so that the
If you look
arm
at
is center. It's hard
look
to
at
describe.
a Bimota Tezzy, it looks kind of like
Yeah,
that.
kind of like that. So
Yeah.
first off, is a two-wheel drive motorcycle a good idea? Now there have been some successful ones. What's that dirt bike two-wheel drive?
Rokon.
The
No,
road co-
not no.
No, which the Christini.
Yes, Christini.
Yeah, Christini drive.
That's a
yeah.
good-looking bike.
Yeah, it's a drive system, right? It's not an actual bike. I don't know.
I thought-
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's got a drive system.
I always thought that
Yeah,
was
no, it's
an
the-
Italian pastry.
Crostini.
So, I mean, some people say that a two-wheel drive bike could be useful in application.
In a certain
In all the bikes that
application.
have it, the Rokon, the Christini, and this,
Wow.
they all have dirt tires on it.
Yes.
So for dirt riding, it has its bonuses. Two-wheel steering, I'm not sure about.
So this Christini's $14,000.
Yeah, they're good-looking
Two-wheel-
bikes, right?
All-wheel drive 450
It's a
Explorer.
legit dirt bike. Mm-hmm. It's not some backyard thing. So, Emma, looking at this Drysdale, and I do like to see somebody come up with ingenuity. So the first
As do I.
question I have is two-wheel steering a good or bad idea?
It's not necessarily a bad idea in theory. Now, what we've got to separate when we get involved in a discussion like this, we've got to differentiate between what is good in theory and what is good in practice. So let's talk about the theory of having two-wheel steering. If you have two-wheel steering, that basically means when you're riding dirt, you're doing a lot of handlebar action, not necessarily on the street. You know, on the street, you do a little bit of counter steering, but it's all about leaning. The dirt, oftentimes, you know, if you're negotiating trails, you're
You're definitely putting a lot of effort.
putting a lot of
movement.
English into it.
Yep.
Now, if you have two-wheel steering, That basically means you can turn on tighter trails, you can take more tortuous paths. Theoretically, you can go where a bike that doesn't steer at both ends can't go. But we get into how the bike feels. Now, I know for a fact that a bike that steers at both ends is going to feel odd.
Yeah.
Whether it's something you can overcome or not, I don't know.
Definitely a learning curve.
It would definitely be a learning curve.
You know, what's crazy is because, like, I look at this thing, there's just complexity, yeah? And the wheels are cast, and there's a drive system for the front and the rear.
Yes.
Like, you could pivot a two-stroke dirt bike pretty easily if you practice.
Well, and so here's... to try and illustrate this, let's go back to a different kind of technology. So let's talk about the Honda NR750 with the oval pistons. And I'm going to throw it into the same idea. The idea of having oval pistons is you can have far more valves operating the combustion chamber. In the case of the NR750, you had 8 valves per piston. You had 4 intake valves, 4 exhaust valves, because you could do that because they were oval.
Some wacky piston rings.
And, well, that was the holdup. That's why the bike didn't appear until 1990. It would have appeared in the 60s if they could find somebody to make the piston rings. But the point is thus, they put in all this technology without necessarily there being a technological advantage. The NR750 wasn't actually that much more powerful than bikes of the period. It only took a couple of years for conventionally powered bikes to eclipse it in power.
Yeah.
Another one is your Ducati, Craig. It has desmodromic valve gear. And desmodromic valve gear negates the need for valve springs. It mechanically opens the valve, mechanically closes the valve. Back when it was invented by Mercedes in the early 1950s, it was a wonderful idea because valve spring technology was very, very poor back then. And in order to get these racing engines to rev higher, if you mechanically close the valve, now you could rev your engine to 8,000 RPM.
That big valve lift, right? Is that what they wanted to do?
Right.
Really aggressive cam.
But here we are in 2022, and valve spring technology is so good, there is no mechanical advantage to having desmodromic valve gear. But it's become so much of a part of what a Ducati is. They keep it around. So you've got to be careful with technology. There's a couple of things that concern me the most about this bike. It is unspeakably ugly.
No, it's not. Stop that. It's function.
No.
Look how beautiful that is.
I'll even agree.
It looks like a grasshopper.
It's pretty ugly.
It is unspeakably ugly. If you were to
hold on,
write
Emma.
that...
Can we agree there wasn't a huge attempt made for aesthetics?
But
No, it's very
therein
much form.
lies the problem, because it falls under the same category as form has to follow function. If you're building a motorcycle, yes, I mean, I'm all for, yes, it's very mechanical and blah, blah, blah. But there has to be some concession.
It has a rear subframe on the front.
Hold on. Like, so this is
It
just a
doesn't
guy's
exist.
project, though, right? It's never a production bike. It'll never be a production bike.
No, but
Did
again,
he
we're
sell
talking
more
about
than one?
No, but we're talking about good ideas and bad ideas.
Well, I guess
and this is
no
somebody who
idea's
thought
bad.
that they had a good idea and they needed to try it.
But there's a second thing. So once we get beyond the unspeakable ugliness of it, in order to operate this system, it runs on a mechanical pump. And the mechanical
Oh, it's
pump...
hydraulic? It's hydraulically driven in the front?
Yes.
Oh, shit, that sucks.
What?
And the mechanical
Well, maybe
pump
not.
is so expensive. The only reason he was able to build this,
yeah.
this
Like a
pump
Cushman.
has an operating pressure of 4,500 psi. And God
yeah,
almighty,
jeez.
it's even worse from that side.
That is
Oh, that's pretty bad. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that is insane.
man. I don't. You know what? For a farm bike, if you're just gonna truck around, I don't think this was ever meant to be performance. It's a 2-stroke.
It's an exercise in.
I'm into it. Okay. All right.
Angularity.
I take it back. I think it's kind of neat that somebody did this. Was that Nebraska? Was that Nebraska?
That looks Canadian, doesn't it?
No, I don't
It's
know.
Australian.
Victoria?
Drysdale's Australian.
Oh, I don't know. All right.
Okay.
Oh, that.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, what
wait
the
a
fuck
minute.
is that?
Wait a minute.
That's actually.
That's not
the
even
handlebars.
conventional handlebars.
So, describe what you're seeing.
Okay, so instead of actual handlebars, that's a tube. It looks like it's a long box.
It's a
No.
box section.
I think
Yeah.
the handlebars go through.
Do they go through? Is that just a cover?
So basically, you know how you'll have hand guards and maybe a little fairing?
I don't know. I think
This
that's
looks
an
like it's
actual-
all in one, but instead it looks like it's an oil tank.
It may be a tank of
Oh,
somebody.
for the
It's probably a
hydraulic
hydraulic.
fluid? Yeah.
For the hydraulic fluid.
Or yeah, so it's a tank that the handlebars are built into. It's hard to. So basically, the fairing / hand guards are a tank that's a couple inches.
So-
thick.
Imagine like breaking a line and having.
Let's
4,000 PSI
move
fluid
on
hit
from
you.
this. I think theoretically, as an exercise to show what you're capable of mechanically, it's got its merits. I mean, you can say, okay, I built this thing, and this is what it can do, and this is what it can't. I think as probably a motorcycle, it's very complex. I don't see it being particularly reliable. I don't see it being particularly easy or nice to ride.
Yeah.
Well, so 2-wheel drive.
This
Well,
is
yeah, so the Drysdale is one thing, but what about this Christini? I want to ride one of
Right?
these
so
fuckers.
Christini and Rokons. So let's go to the Rokon.
Well-
Are Rokons a good idea?
I think a Rokon was a good idea that was hampered by 1980s technology. If a Rokon had 100 pounds less weight and 20 horsepower more.
Were they ginormous? These Rokons?
Yeah,
I thought
they're
kinda
heavy.
like farm bikes or something.
Yeah, they're kind of farm
it's a
bikes.
mini bike.
Oh.
It's too big to be a bloody mini bike. Thing's huge.
No, it's a mini bike.
There is nothing mini about that.
It is
This
a
is an
mini
actual
bike.
company that still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Find a
still
picture of
make it
somebody's-
I
all
will,
made
I
in
will.
America, I believe.
Find a picture of somebody sitting on one and tell me it's a mini bike.
Mm.
There you
It's
go.
got big old tires.
That
That is not a mini bike.
It is.
That's like 2.5 mini bikes. All right.
How big are those wheels?
That's like 3/4 inch.
How big-
I guess by the term by
okay.
the wheels. All right. I'm thinking of just overall.
No,
things.
that's quite a big bike.
So Rokon is
New
basically
Hampshire.
a beefed up Trail 70. You know, it's
Yeah.
but they are famous for having 2-wheel drive and big wheel, wide but short but small wheels. What is that, like
Dude.
a 10-inch hub maybe?
I think so.
13, 10 inch.
Famously, the wheels are hollow and you can fill
Yeah.
them with water for traction. Get some
No,
unsprung weight.
and gas tank.
And gasoline if you need it.
Yeah.
But you can't draw it off. I mean, it's just a tank, and then
Right.
you went
Yeah.
and put it.
Dump it out. Yeah.
But also they're meant to be a flotation device so that you can float this across a river.
But I think
And I'd like to point out not us not pointing up.
there's a simplicity to the Rokon that I like. But as I say, it was hampered a lot by the technology of the time. It's very, very heavy. It hasn't got much power. If it had more power and less weight, I think it would be a great deal more fun to ride.
Well, it's 2023. They still make them. It looks like it's still heavy and needs more power. I don't know. What's
Well,
going on
yeah,
with it.
because they're marketing to nostalgic old guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
You know, how much are they?
How much are they?
Yeah, that's a good question.
$6,200.
$100?
Anyway,
the
but-
average price is $6,500.
So Rokon
okay.
was created as really a utility vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
So it has a bunch of like multi-functioning things.
I
Like,
could see the application as like an.
but 2-wheel drive to get you through the slog, the mud and the slog. So and then the Christini. So let me ask you: is 2-wheel drive a good idea?
What
Or
I am most
just-
interested in of all the conversation of 2-wheel drive is what can it do for hill climbs?
Mm-hmm.
What could you do going up the side of a mountain? Would it provide
have enough weight on the
additional?
front, though.
That's what I'm wondering. Is was it just going through a little deep
Well-
mud puddle, or could it actually contribute
No, I don't
to
think-
because of the weights going
Well,
backwards?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer your question with another question. I may be jumping ahead in the show. What is going on right now? What started today?
2023.
Dakar.
Oh, the Dakar. Yeah.
How many two-wheel bikes are in the Dakar?
They're all two-wheeled motorcycles.
No, two-wheel drive bikes are in the... How many two-wheel drive bikes are in...
None.
There you go.
But that's because it's a race and speed is a factor. Yet
Complexity.
two-wheel drive bikes like the Rokon are used to go through jungles.
So, two-wheel drive has its advantages in certain applications.
Yeah.
But as a competition dirt bike, I don't think is one of them.
No. And even those applications seem so niche that the average person just can't justify the purchase of one. Although these Christini is really
Well, let's
really need to
go
ride one
back
of
to
those.
Hollister. Would you ride a two-wheel drive bike around Hollister?
Why not?
Because you'd probably get flattened by somebody on a CRF 450 coming up behind you.
No, not Hollister.
Do you think?
You
do you
rarely
think
run
that?
into other people on the
Do you
trails.
think that would have enough power to
The Rokon?
the Rokon would have enough power and speed to be on the
You don't need
trails?
speed. We actually ride pretty slow on the bigger bikes.
Rokon top speed. I'm looking at it right now.
I wish we could get a whole fleet of these two wheels to test.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that's the
sounds like
obvious
we
one.
need a real world
But
test.
Rokon, if you're listening, send your emails to.
So,
Yes.
but Emma, I wanted to ask you, what are some examples of good ideas,
Bro, these
that,
things go 37 miles an hour, third gear.
that failed? What were good ideas that failed because maybe it was the wrong time or
Well,
bad business or whatever?
Well, I've made a list, and we're going to go through. So let's start with a couple of. We talked about the Drysdale. Let's talk about the other thing you sent me.
Oh, right, this one. So this one, have you guys seen this?
God, that's an actual VW motor.
A Webley Vickers cruiser.
Now,
Those aren't real words. What are you saying? Those aren't real words.
Yeah,
That is a
Webley
real-
Vickers.
Now, this bike, there's something quite hokey about the article that this bike, I was reading this article, and I think this is not a production bike. This is a bike that somebody built in their shed. And they're saying it's a production bike, but I don't think it is.
Is
Somebody
that a
produced it.
BMW toaster tank?
Well, no, that's not a toaster tank. That is actually a Moto Guzzi Eldorado tank, is what that is. It's got its BMW frame.
So, what we have here is a 2000cc Volkswagen
Yes,
Boxer engine.
yes.
And I'm trying to see what the frame is.
A BMW R69.
Oh, no, this guy purchased the tooling and parts from early developer to create the Webley Vickers.
Yes, I know, but it's a BMW R69 frame.
Okay.
And I can tell that because if you look above the saddlebags, you see that little aluminum blip?
Yep.
That's the shock tower.
Bobble, the
Yeah.
little bobble. Yeah.
So, let's talk about putting car engines in bikes and why people have been
Can we not?
attracted.
House.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I think this is a one-off
It's
that was going to auction. I think. that's what it was.
Exactly. Famously, Von Dutch put a Volkswagen engine in a BMW, and quite successfully. So, let's talk about putting.
Oh yeah, it was a BMW R69. Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah. So let's talk about putting car engines in bikes.
So yeah.
And there's been plenty over the years. Munch Mammoth. The Munch Mammoth.
Well,
Friedel
first of all,
Munch.
let's talk about why that is a good idea. Because these are engines that are already being mass produced.
They're being mass produced. They are tempting because they, on the face of it, they make good power.
Yeah, I guess.
Back in the 60s, Britain, Europe, America, were making large capacity twin cylinder bikes, and on a good day, a Bonneville would make 50 horsepower, Sportster would make about the same, Harley Davidson Big Twin, like an Electroglide, would make about 45, although more torque. And the BMWs made even less. The BMW R69s probably made about 35 horsepower. But again, high torque engines. So these weren't high power. And you could get a car engine with a bit of finagling. You could plop it in, you have nearly 100 horsepower.
Well, and so what size engine did an R69 come with?
600.
And this is a 2000 cc.
2000
in the
cc.
same frame.
So,
Okay, so you have way too much torque for the rear tire to handle. And
Right.
It's big and it's
No,
heavy.
but it's VW.
All right.
It's not known for its torque.
Yeah, it's still
right?
2 liters, man. It's a lot
But
of...
you see, cars and bikes do very, very different things. And generally, real estate in a car is not a problem. Because, the things like, even a small car's like, 13 feet long and so many feet wide. And so the engine can be a little bit more expansive, and you can just add stuff on. Like you can add on the alternator and add on a pump for the power steering if you have power steering, and add on this and add on this and add on this. And it doesn't have to be particularly pretty, because at the end of the day, you can close the trunk or close the hood if it's in the front, and you can have the ugliest engine in the world. Nobody can see it because it's a car. When you put car engines in bikes, number one, you have a lot of accessories you've got to move around, because just because, say, the alternator is in an ideal position in the airflow in a car, because you want a little bit of airflow from the grill hitting that alternator to keep it cool.
Your accessibility points are completely different
Right.
also.
It might be
I got it.
right in your where your leg's going to be on a bike. And then you got to pretty the thing up. And if you take the Munch had an NSU 1000 engine. NSU 1000, pretty little car.
Well, we can also,
Lovely little car.
I feel like...
But dang, that engine was ugly. And there was nothing that Friedel Munch could ever do to pretty that engine up.
I will say something to this defense. Past bikes, if we're talking about, is it the Amazonian?
Yes.
And
Ugly.
even the Boss Hoss.
Ugly.
Ugly, and they look like you
Ugly
built a
shit.
bike around a big engine. This actually fits in pretty well.
Well,
So it does beg the question why it's not more common, because there are small engines.
I think what it is, this is like when somebody gets way too fetishy with weight to power ratio.
Yes.
And it just, well, let's put a big motor in something really small and make it go fast. Okay, you could do that, but like, you could get a sport bike.
So when we build custom bikes, and I build a lot of custom bikes, a lot of us employ a technique, and it's a French technique, actually from it's an art technique, and it's called trompe-l'œil. And
the
literally, it's trick of the eye. And trick of the eye means that if you're faced with an area of ugliness, you want to draw your eye away from this. So let's look at this bike. And you can see that there's a center part of that engine that is ugly. There's some
a grill
odd
there.
stuff
Painted
going
black.
on. He's got the valve cover, which itself isn't bad, but he's got that weird intake that sits above it. But it's what's immediately behind the rocker covers. There's this big slab of nothing. And so what he's done is...
Can we zoom in on that photo?
So what he's done with that is he's done a bit of trick of the eye,
There we go.
and he's put a very shapely fuel tank on it to draw your eye to the fuel tank, and he's done a chrome battery box again to draw your eye from this ugly part of the engine. And this is a commonality with car engines. Car engines can have pretty parts to them, like a Volkswagen. The actual cylinder heads and the valve covers on a Volkswagen are quite pretty. They're nicely cast, they're a great shape, but the rest of the engine is just butt ugly. And that's what you're looking at here. You've got this pretty cylinder head and valve cover, but look above it. All this just ugly nonsense going all the way up to the bottom of the tank, and then this bizarre stuff going on behind the valve covers.
Well,
Well, it's like when you open up the hood of a truck and like the first thing you see is just the engine cover.
Yes.
Like this big plastic thing covering everything to make
Because
everything
that's
look good.
that, yeah, exactly, and that's what they do now. They just
Yeah.
plop it on because
What?
engines are getting uglier.
So many people don't not care about car engine aesthetics, whereas motorcycle, it's so much more prominent and part of the whole design.
Right, exactly.
That So did we agree that or disagree that car engines in motorcycles were a good or bad idea? What do you think, Emma?
I like the fuck you. Sorry.
I mean, that is a good question. Why isn't that more common? Because like an engine that comes to mind, like the early Honda, like Civics, that would seem to be a small enough engine that they could have put
How
into
big
bikes.
is a 1.6? An old
Something
Honda
like that,
Civic?
right? I don't know. I'm just curious why is it more common?
Would you like to know the most successful car-engined motorcycle?
You're gonna no. Yes, I would like to know.
Any guesses?
Most successful car engine motorcycle.
Would you
It's a BMW.
a BMW car?
Oh, it's
engine?
is it one of them
inline
one of the
four?
things that do
Are you talking about that?
Come on, you can do it, Knock.
it's the opposed cylinder.
No.
No?
No,
Car? You're talking about car engine.
Car engine.
Car
Okay.
engine.
I don't know.
designed as a car engine. K100.
K16.
No, the 100. K100 started off life as
The brickhead.
Yeah, the
the
brick.
brick.
Okay.
Okay.
And
yeah,
basically,
yeah,
all
okay.
they did was they took a car engine and flopped it on its side.
That's right.
It's a car engine.
The 3-cylinder.
Okay.
No,
No, that's
that's
a
the
75.
75.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The 100's the 4.
But
Crazy.
yeah.
But it was basically 1,000
Half of a
cc.
V8.
I believe, and I do stand to be corrected, I believe it was designed by Peugeot.
So,
But it's a car engine.
so would you
That's a good
say
reminder.
that this is a good idea that's never succeeded? Ooh. Or do you have a better example of a good idea that
I
failed?
think that
This particular example, yeah.
that particular example would actually be a not unpleasant bike to ride.
I think it looks pretty nice.
Based solely on what its contemporaries were. It's compared to an Electroglide of similar vintage. Because, I mean, we're talking, mid-60s here?
Car engines are so loud, though.
I think compared with an Electroglide of the mid-60s, it'd probably be smoother. It'd probably not necessarily have more power, but it'd be a little more pleasant to ride.
So do you have any examples of a bad idea that was successful?
Yes.
Like what?
I'm going to get my pad.
I bet you there's all kinds of those.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, here's one we were getting into a debate on. Because
Oh,
I had talked about...
your favorite.
I had talked about a good bike that was not successful, was the GB 500. I think it is a beautiful bike.
I think it's a terrible
and it is
bike.
built on a Honda 500 dirt bike engine, so it's common engine. And it's a bike that failed when it came out for many different reasons. A lot of the market at the time
feel like
compared to
we've
what
talked about
else
this.
was available. But Emma says that it was a horrible bike.
There was
GB.
the Gore Blimey 500.
You're not familiar with the GB?
You're gonna be hard pressed to find somebody English who
One
like.
of the best looking Hondas ever made.
I don't agree.
Great Britain 500.
And therein lies the problem. You're going to be hard pressed to find somebody English who likes that bike.
What do you think of that, Craig?
Wow, it's pleasing on the eye.
I told you, yeah.
It's got beautiful lines in that rear tail section. Wow.
Yeah, beautiful bike.
So let me tell you about the GB 500 and what it was and what it wasn't. So GB 500 came out 89, I think, was the very, very first one.
Yeah, 89 and 90.
89 and 90. It was designed as basically a blatant copy of the British cafe racer scene
Norton.
of,
Yeah, it's a
of
blatant.
the 1960s. And therein lay the problem that really why it didn't sit well with a lot of British bikers is because it was a copy of something that may never have existed in the first place.
And Craig, I have owned one of these. And just so you know, since it's the first time seeing one, Craig, what color do you think that bike is? And they only came in one color. What color is that bike?
It certainly looks black, but I'm guessing
That is
it's
incorrect. It is not black.
It's a dark blue, isn't it?
No.
Or is it green?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It is a dark green, and it looks black to the eye, but if you hold a light up to it, it reflects back green.
So
It's beautiful.
it had an XL 500
Yeah.
Single-cylinder engine with a radial valve head. Top ends were quite fragile on them. You know, the small end got a bit knocky and out of round after about 20,000 miles. Oiling was always a problem on them. You see, the dirt bike carried its oil in the down tube of the front frame. The Gore Blimey, they wanted to make it a bit more authentic, so they put an oil tank under the seat. And it had this sort of weird plumbing that goes, you can see the plumbing sitting on top of the clutch cover.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't feed itself because of its location of its...
Well, no, I mean, it never had oiling problem, but it was awkward. I mean, I just see it as clunky and pretentious.
So, but I use this as an example because it's a bike that is extremely collectible today. In the 90s, you could buy one in a crate that they sat in dealerships and never sold.
You think this would have prompted Ducati to make their Sport 1000? Because, I mean, it's still kind of that...
Well, they
vibe,
didn't sell either.
But I use this as an example. These go for $10,000 now.
Well,
yeah, it's wild.
And at the time...
And in the late 90s, I bought one for like less than $4,000.
They were expensive when they were new, and a lot of that was the problem.
They failed, but I thought it was a beautiful attempt at a bike that was fun and very nimble.
Well, let's rewind for a second. So you said that what the problem with the UK public was not that it wasn't beautifully designed, but that it was a copy. It didn't feel authentic.
It didn't ring as authentic. You know, it was and
in Japan they had a GB 400, and wasn't there a GB 250 also?
Yes, you know, it was like a whole range, almost like the GB was its own model in Japan, and they had various.
In the US, it failed; it bombed.
Right.
So I that is my example of a good idea that failed at the time. I don't know if you guys have any other examples.
Well. A good idea that failed at the time. Well, and part of the
the W650 was in the exact same boat.
Yeah, let's talk about the W650 because the W650 to me is a very, very different bike than the Gore Blimey.
Yeah,
it's charmingly styled. It's not trying to be something it's not.
Bevel valves, this is
and
really
it's
cool.
Beautifully engineered. I mean, they are just gorgeously engineered. It's just a very, very charming little bike, and there are some chops to it because it was based on the Kawasaki W2, so there was some precedent. And yes, the W2 was a blatant copy of the BSA A10, and we all know that.
Yeah, well, and just like the GB was a blatant copy of Norton, this was Kawasaki's blatant copy of a Triumph. I mean, the badging,
No. It was Kawasaki's blatant copy of their own W2, which was a blatant copy of a BSA.
All right.
So it had some chops, but it's a lot more charmingly styled than the Gore Blimey. It's a lot less pretentious from a mechanical standpoint rather than using an old hashy...
What year did it come out?
2000. Right around the same time.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Nice. 6.
But it had this glorious little bevel drive engine. I mean, it actually had a rotating shaft that drove the camshaft. It's just a lovely little thing.
And then that's a W650. Then this is a bike that failed when it came out. It sat on showroom floors.
Did they ever make
was
those
not successful
bevel gazer covers for those, or is that like a Guzzi or Ducati?
No, that's a Ducati thing. With the window.
Yeah, the window.
Yeah, and you can see the bevel gears. But I have a couple that come down the shop, and I'm always just tickled to work on them because they're just lovely little things to work on.
And it was...
and they're charming to ride.
It was not successful.
Well, that's the current one.
Yeah, no. You're not supposed to talk about what's on the screen because listeners don't know.
Oh, boo.
So it was a bike that didn't succeed, I think, because I remember my original opinion was it was just a copy. If you want a real British bike, just get a British bike. It didn't succeed, but it was a good bike. It, too, is now highly collectible. And now they doubled down and made the W800. So you could go into a shop and buy one of these today.
I like it.
And I think what they've done with the 800, they've addressed some of the issues that were leveled at the 650, because some people said the 650 was underpowered. And if you compare it with, say, a ZX6, it's very underpowered. But I mean, if you compare it with an older British 650, I mean, the power holds up. The 800, they gave it a little more power, a little more torque, sharpened up the styling. You know, they put the bikini fairing on it, sharpened up the headlight, new color scheme, black rims.
So
which
I got a question for you.
Yes,
W650 was a failure. So then they came out with the W800. Was that a good idea?
Wait, is it a failure though? By what metric?
The W650 did not sell.
How many years were they making them?
Two.
yeah,
Only 2 years? I thought
only a
they'd
couple
more.
of years.
Yeah, it
For
didn't
this
fail.
market.
So let me ask you. So what? So the bike didn't succeed. So 20 years later they come out with the W800. Was that a good idea?
I think it was worth a shot, and I'll tell you
Okay.
why.
When did the
Because
800 come out?
A couple of years ago.
A
What,
team-
2017 maybe?
Yeah, 17. A team of engineers in Japan really sat down and thought about that engine and really put a great deal of time and effort making that sweet little motor. And I think they deserved a second chance.
So let me ask you this. Should Honda come out with the GB650?
God, no.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, they're doing a Hornet.
Wait a minute.
They're
Why
doing
not?
A Hornet.
Why not?
Because we've already established that there's a lot of mechanical innovation in that bike.
Okay.
There's none in the GB500. None.
But I said a GB650. What if they redesigned it? So, I mean, Kawasaki took a bike that didn't succeed, and they doubled down and made it better, reissued it. Why shouldn't Honda?
I don't think
Craig,
the-
don't you agree that GB is a good-looking bike?
I don't
right?
think a GB650
The
would be any
GBs?
less pretentious than a GB500.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they call it the Hornet now. That's what they.
So,
I mean, come on,
parallel twin?
it's like Kim Kardashian's lips. I mean, God, could it be any more fake?
well, I wanted to see if you guys have any other.
No body shaming here.
I want to see if you
I
have
like
Sorry.
her lips.
any other things that you think were good or bad ideas. So I'm going to use this as an example. Something that a lot of people think is a good idea until they do it, and then they find out it was a bad idea. But once they start down that path, you cannot change their mind. They're so
Yeah.
convinced that covering their bike in Plasti Dip is a good idea. Right?
Oh, I know
Until they
about
learn
that.
it's like we've tried it, right? I've tried it. Did you try
Well,
it?
no, I've plasti dipped some shock springs once. They turned out okay.
It
but
seems. Have you seen this, Craig?
How long did they last?
So
not very.
just basically Plasti Dip is a spray-on rubber coating.
Yeah.
And people think, oh, this is cool. I heard you can take a bike that's pretty nasty
Well-
looking, road rash, spray it. It'll look new. And if you don't like it, you can just peel it
Okay,
off.
so there's a whole thing with plasti dip and car people. Apparently, if you do it right and you take it too professional, it looks decent enough. And the idea is it's never going to look like a factory gloss paint job, right?
Oh, no, it doesn't look glossy.
No. I mean, you can get gloss because it's evolved to where you can get a gloss coat from on plasti dip. But like the idea of it is it's not permanent. That's the novelty factor of that.
Well, yeah, and here's why it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
How many parts of your tank and your side covers are getting rubbed and scraped?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do it on a
right.
bike.
And
that's
it
for sure.
it gets holes in it and it just looks
Yeah.
bad.
Well, not people just vinyl
Then
wrap
it's
their
peeling
cars
off.
or the bikes.
It looks bad, but people think it's a good idea. So, do you guys have any other things that are pretty common that you think are good or bad ideas?
Putting a lot of stickers on your bike.
Good idea or bad idea?
Cheaper than a paint job.
Yeah.
Charlie did that on his bike that had road rash.
Depends
Yeah.
if you're going to give it to somebody, then you have to end up taking it off.
So I want to talk a little bit about a whole genre of bikes
Ooh.
that started off as a terrible idea,
Oh, is this what we were talking about earlier?
but became wildly successful.
Is this what we were talking about earlier?
Oh, no.
No,
This
okay.
is a curveball for you. You're going to be
All right.
like, what?
Okay.
So, back in 77,
And is this a good idea or bad guy? Bad idea.
well, it started as a bad idea, but it has become wildly successful,
77.
particularly in,
so
here in
that's
America.
too late for two-stroke.
oh yeah.
Okay.
So Kawasaki had this rather jolly bike called the Z900.
Okay.
And by 77, they were just getting ready to introduce the Z1000. And everyone loved these bikes.
Yeah.
But the American importers said, hey guys, can you work with us and come up with something that's more suitable for the American buying public? So they came out with the LTD. And the LTD was basically very, very rudimentary. It was a Z1 with a step seat, high bars, shorty pipes, and a few other accoutrements, 16-inch back wheel.
It was, I would say, successful. They were everywhere.
Yeah, they were everywhere. But it was a terrible idea because what you had was a...
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'm looking at it right now.
There you go. So what you had was a bike with 90-odd horsepower, which even in standard form, the handling was marginal, the braking was marginal, because that's how bikes were back then. And you're going to make it better by putting a far more wobbly sized back tire on it, higher handlebars,
But a lot of power.
and longer forks, and a lot more power. Anybody who puts handlebars like that on a 4-cylinder liter bike needs a lobotomy.
I knew a lot of people. I knew a lot of people had these.
That thing is ugly as hell.
Yeah,
But
not handlebars like that.
But the thing is, so these early attempts, and the Kawasaki LTD was one of them, the Yamaha US Custom, which started off life as a XS650, was another really early contender. Suzuki got on with the L series. And, you know,
I'm going to say, though, by today's standards, this is not a good-looking bike. But at the time, this
hang
was
on.
good-looking and successful.
But this was a terrible idea, and more people got hurt and crashed these early cruisers, especially the big ones.
Yeah.
But they became this wildly successful metric cruiser movement.
Is this how the VMAX came to be eventually?
Well, the VMAX
did
was...
it like eventually
no.
trickle to that? Like,
by the way,
that
this
shape and form factor?
was the first leader bike I ever rode. Was one
Right.
of these, and I remember I had never ridden anything bigger than a 750, and I got on my friend's 1000. I just thought it was going to be a rocket, and I got on there all intimidated, and I go down the street. It was just another bike, you know.
So,
what's the what year did that come out? What's
77.
70? Oh, interesting.
So, no, the VMAX was always its own thing.
But I mean, did it start that? Because like I'm looking at this thing, it's like the form factor is it seems like if you took the outline of it, you could see where the kind of.
So you're saying was this the first power cruiser?
Yeah, or something like that. I mean, did it spurn this? Did it start this genre?
Maybe.
But I want to go back. Emma, you said this was a bad idea that turned into a good idea?
Yeah, exactly. Because the metric cruiser movement really has been the backbone of American motorcycling. I mean, when you look at what bikes have sold and what bikes haven't sold, cruisers make up a massive proportion of what's sold.
Yeah, they do.
And just because us misfits, we don't generally ride cruisers, it does not mean they're bad bikes, and it does not mean they're unpopular bikes.
I was a big fan of the LTD 440.
Right. Cruisers are great bikes, and if your style of riding suits a cruiser, they're the most wonderful things in the world. And they've developed to such a point now that they're some of the most sophisticated bikes out there.
Like the Diavolo?
Yeah, exactly. You take the Ducati Diavolo. You know, when Ducati are making a cruiser, you know, there's some chops to it. But these early LTDs and these early cruisers...
But I thought this
terrible.
LTD was more related to the KZ, not the Z.
No, the KZ was just the American designation of the Z.
But the KZ was more of a flat seat straight bike.
No, no, hang on.
No?
you're getting your Kawasaki pronouns mixed up.
Nope.
The
Got a KZ in the garage.
yes, but in England, in every country in the world, Kawasaki were just known as Zs. In America, they were known as KZs.
I mean, example. So the KZ 750 came in the twin or the 4,
Right. But in every other country in the world, it was just known as the Z750.
Okay.
So that was the difference. And again, this was an early, and the funny you should bring up the 750. It came in two flavors. There's the Z750 LTD. You want your mind blown?
Yeah.
Do Z750 CSR.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Not quite. The CSR came with a few more accoutrements. Wire wheels, different exhaust, a little more chrome on the engine.
Yeah.
Look at that! CSR. Not a bad looking thing.
Yeah. It actually looks a lot like the W650.
So, from the birth of these very, very early clunky cruisers that didn't handle well, that had terrible brakes, the cruiser movement was born. So it started off as a bad idea that got good.
Was the handling bad compared to today, or this was like peak?
No, the
good
handling was bad compared with the other bikes.
Right. Okay. Oh, interesting.
You know, because generally, if you take a bike that's got marginal handling anyway, so if a Z1, as glorious as a bike as it is not the best handling thing.
And speaking of handling, I'm wondering whether it was a good idea or bad idea, Kawasaki H2 Widowmaker, the Mach 4.
Yes.
Well,
Would you say that was because the chassis really couldn't keep up, or the brakes with the power of the engine?
Well,
or it was just an exercise in evolution of the motorcycle?
It was an exercise in evolution.
And they were just trying to
it's-
sell people horsepower.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Like-
horsepower really was it in the 70s. And everyone was rushing to make the highest horsepower bike,
Handling be damned.
yeah.
pretty much.
well, and when you said Z900, I was thinking of the current ones, which again comes back full circle to
Yeah.
the GB, to the W650, a reissued, remodeled, retro-styled bike that I think is that a good idea again?
You know, I think people, it's reading the market. There are a lot of people of a certain age, well, sort of my age, in their 50s.
Sleepy Cinch, she's talking to you, man. He owns one of these.
So,
It's beauty.
you know, there are people in their 60s who couldn't afford a Z1 back then, but still think very nostalgically about them, who really now have got the financial clout to buy that. And it's a great bike in its own right. The reason why I'm very, very fond of the current Kawasaki Z900s is whether it's in the, just the Z900 form, which is the naked bike that kind of looks like a transformer, the Z900 RS, which we're looking at there, which is in the lime green with a bikini fairing in the tail,
The retro
or
throwback.
the Z900 Retro, which is in the candy root beer. They're all great riding bikes. They make good power, they handle well, they brake well, they do everything you could possibly want.
So is the I was thinking of like Kawasaki Eliminator.
That's an Eliminator. Now, that's its own thing.
Oh, God.
So the Eliminator and the VMAX and the V65 were kind of drag bikes.
Because this is almost like the next gen of the LTD. I mean, when you look at the style.
It is and it isn't. From a technical standpoint, these three bikes. So what we're going to deal with is we're going to deal with the Kawasaki Eliminator, we're going to deal with the VMAX, and we're going to deal with the V65.
Is this technically a Vulcan?
No.
Okay.
It's very different to a Vulcan.
Okay.
These bikes made the most horsepower of any bikes in the range. Any bikes in the range. The VMAX made far more power than an R1 of the time. The Eliminator made far more power than GPZ 1000 RX. And the V65 at the time made far more power than even the highest power Honda Sport bike. These were kind of like the drag bikes. And
Sorry, I know there's a VMAX in here. I found one right there, right behind
Right.
Craig. Third bike in silver. Up one, yes.
There it is.
VMAX.
And Honda and Kawasaki always played on that in the advertising. There was a great nighttime shot of an Eliminator 1000 at the time, and Pee Wee Gleason, who was like the number one drag racer of the time, is just lighting up the back tire on a drag strip. And it's just got, this bike will run 10.7 in standing start quarter mile out the box. It's like, what? These were the fastest bikes on the road at the time, but they were their own genre.
Yeah.
These aren't cruisers, and they never really were. They were kind of like, I'm trying to think.
Fruits in a drag bike, wasn't it?
It's basically it's a drag bike with
Yeah.
lights, and the VMAX was
power
the same
cruiser.
thing.
Well, Power Cruiser's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the drag
It
bikes,
was a
and they
drag-
were pitched as
Yeah.
drag bikes.
Because Power
They ride
Cruisers,
like hell on the straights, but just don't give them any corners.
Well, and I mean that was the VMAX from day one. I mean, a contemporary road report on it said, I think it was Motorcycle News in England wrote it, and they said, well, there is no bike in the world that can accelerate in a straight line like this bike, but it goes around corners like a rabid puppy on a leash, and that kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you what is probably one of the best ideas of all time are my games.
It's not cigar
Nice
throttle.
segue, Liza.
You loving that? You loving it?
I'm enjoying the segues tonight. I
'Cause
think you're doing very well.
It is game time. Now, here's the thing. I have created a game called the easiest motorcycle quiz ever. Now, because a few weeks ago we did the hardest motorcycle quiz. Now I've come up with the easiest motorcycle quiz, and I'm pretty confident that
So
you
yin and
guys
yang
in the
here.
room probably know the answers to everything. So I had to make it a little bit harder. So here's the thing. In this game, we are going to pit Knock against Craig.
I am
gonna go
ready. I am
one-
ready to be
we're gonna go
humiliated.
one question at a time. So when I point to you, it's your turn. The other person isn't trying to compete. You are competing against yourself because this is how much time you have to answer.
3 seconds, right?
Wow.
Okay. So these are things you probably know. And then if you do not get it right, then Emma can come in and see if she knows the answer, which I'm pretty confident. All right. You guys understand the game?
I think, yeah.
Okay. We're going to start out with you. Knock. Okay.
Here we go. Ready.
Here we go. Named after a famous racer we have interviewed. Turn 9 at Laguna Seca is also known as what?
Oh, fucking fuck! I know it. I know it too. It's fucking Rainy Corner. God damn it! You know what?
The pressure.
All this does is show how much lack of sleep I have and how like my brain is
Hey,
degenerated.
Emma, if I give you this notepad, can you keep score, please?
Jesus.
The score is
I did
0
not-
to 0.
I did not score that one.
So, Knock
This is good. I like
Later.
this.
All right. All right.
My brain is slow.
0.
All right, Craig, you understand the
Ready.
game now.
The
big
This
ol'
one is
0.
easy. Hey, Craig, the Harley Davidson Sportster is a line of motorcycles produced continuously since 1957. In cc's, what is the engine size of a Harley Sportster?
883 and 1200.
That is correct.
Damn, brother.
That is
One for
correct.
Craig.
Shit.
All right. So, back to Knock. All right. Let's see.
This is stressful, man. Ooh, I'm getting the shakes.
Okay, Knock. The BMW logo is rumored to be a spinning propeller, but this is not true. It actually stems from an early ad for BMW that showed the name in a spinning propeller, but the logo predates the ad. What does the W in BMW stand for?
Works.
That is correct.
Knock.
All right.
That was like a red herring question, man.
Incidentally, do you know what the blue and white is? It's the Bavarian,
Bavarian
flag.
flag.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Craig. An acronym is an abbreviation formed from the initial letters of other words and pronounced as a word. What does ATGAT stand for?
All the gear, all the time.
That is correct. You got it.
Two.
You
Isn't
got
that
it.
initialization? Or is that whatever? Who
Okay.
knows? Who gives a shit?
Okay, we're going to Knock. All right, ready for this?
Pressure's on, Knock.
The cafe racer culture brought us the mods and rockers, as well as the ton up boys. How fast must you go to do the ton?
100 miles an hour.
That is correct. All right. That was easy. You got it. Oh,
Yeah.
look, he's starting to get his nerves
just
back.
like I'm
Look
like
at that.
actually paying attention now.
Okay. All right, Craig. If a baby cat is a kitten, what is a baby tiger called?
Cub.
That is correct. A tiger cub. All right. See, these aren't that hard, right?
No.
These are easy. All right. Let's go to Okay. The Paris-Dakar race is celebrating its 45th race this year in Saudi Arabia. Originally starting in Paris, what continent was the original finish line?
Oh, Africa.
That is correct. All right. See, it's
Well done,
yeah,
Mark.
well done. All right, Craig. Let's see.
Craig's not feeling any pressure at all.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's a good one. In 1978, Kenny Roberts became the first American to win a Grand Prix World Championship. What color was his motorcycle?
Yellow and black.
That is correct.
Correct. Nice.
All right, well done. All right, let's go to Knock. Let's see. Oh, yeah. In 1948, Rolly Free set a land speed record at Bonneville Salt Flats, reaching a speed of 150 miles per hour and creating what has become the most iconic photo in motorcycling. What bike was he riding?
Oh, it was a fucking Vincent. Sorry.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what
Oh,
model.
Black Shadow. Yeah.
Actually, it's debatable if it was a Black Shadow or a Black Lightning, because
It was-
apparently it
Oh.
had parts from both.
It was a lightning.
It was lightning?
It's-
Mostly
it's-
lightning?
It's debatable. Okay, Craig. In 1948, Soichiro Honda founded the Honda Motor Company. Many other brands are named after their founder as well. Name a brand of motorcycle named after two or more founders.
Buell and
That was a tough one.
Suzuki.
Yep.
No,
Yes.
a brand named after two or more founders.
Oh.
Oh, Harley Davidson.
There you go. I also would have accepted.
I thought it was two.
I also would have
I got-
accepted KTM, Bimota, or Ducati. Those
Yes.
are all.
Yes.
The mode is
multiple
great.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. Knock.
Oh, boo.
Let's see.
Well, you two are equal now. You two are equal. Don't fuck this up now.
Thanks.
I want to make sure. Let's see. I think I already. All right. Knock.
Yes.
Valentino Rossi is a 9-time Grand Prix motorcycle racing world champion and is considered by many to be the greatest racer of all time. But that is debatable. There are other racers with more championships. What is his racing nickname?
The Doctor.
There you go. That was easy. All right.
Il
Craig.
Loretto in Italian.
Ooh.
Yeah. Your
All right,
bonus
Craig.
points for that?
In 1940, the Soviet Union covertly purchased through Swedish intermediaries 5 BMW R71 motorcycles, dismantling them and reverse engineering them. The Ural was born. How many wheels does a Ural come with?
3.
That is incorrect. Emma, how many wheels does a Ural come with?
4.
That is correct. The spare on the sidecar.
They always
That's a
have
trick
the
question.
spare.
I feel that's kind of like, that's kind of,
That's good.
controversy. No strangers to controversy over here. I don't know. I feel for Craig on that one, man.
Don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad because you about to get worked.
You got to listen
Damn,
to the question.
I'm
I had to let you get a head knock and then I come
You
back.
have to listen to
That
the
was a
question.
bullshit question, though. I gotta say on the record.
not.
Whatever.
Shut
It's,
up,
it's a pretty
Knock.
simple question. How many wheels come on a Ural?
Yeah.
4. By the way,
That's something you wouldn't know unless you actually owned a Uraldo.
no. Look in any picture.
Any picture.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay.
No, there's
So-
no come on, man.
All right. I'm just
No,
saying.
I'll take
I'm trying
it.
to help.
I'll
I'm
take
trying to help him
However,
out, man.
Emma, that was a fascinating story I uncovered that the Soviet Union bought these BMWs through Sweden
Well, my
and
understanding.
then dismantled them. And the thing is interesting. So they bought these R71 motorcycles in 1940, and in 1941, BMW came out with the R75. I
Did they
think.
buy them
Right.
clandestinely because Germany wasn't allowed with their?
Well, they were looking for bikes that could be used by the military in the war, and they tried a
Right.
bunch and found that to be the best, so they bought them.
And, Sweden, there was a lot of traffic between the Eastern Bloc via Sweden and
Yeah.
Europe, because Sweden, of course, was famously neutral in the Second World War.
Wait, sorry. What year was this around?
1940. So it was
so-
the height
yeah,
of the Second World
okay.
War. So going through Sweden
Yeah.
was actually a smart move. Same as Spain.
Yeah.
You know, Spain was a neutral country, and there was a lot of stuff going on for the Mediterranean conflict going through Spain.
Yeah.
They just fought their own civil war in 1936, so they had no taste for the Second World War.
Did Hitler already make a pact with the Soviets at that time where they weren't invading? Oh, I don't know. My world history.
What I'm
Whatever,
saying
yeah,
is,
sorry.
it's kind of a fascinating story.
Oh,
We're
it is.
digging
Yeah.
into some more. All right, that would be knock now.
Yes,
It is my turn.
Yeah, all right, knock.
Mhm.
The Triumph Bonneville is an iconic bike named after the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. What other Triumph model is named after a city in the U.S. made famous for motorcycle races?
Daytona.
That is correct. Well done. Did you know that one, Craig?
I did. It would have took me probably another second, though.
Okay, well, let's see if you can get
He
this
was
one.
quick with that one.
The Erzberg Rodeo is an Austrian motorcycle enduro race held in an ore mine. Held since 1995, KTM riders have been the winner 18 out of 26 times.
Jesus.
Who is the main sponsor of the Erzberg Rodeo?
Red Bull.
That is correct.
Nice.
All right. See, I told you, these are not hard.
The first thing in my mind was KTM
I was
because they
go-
keep winning
All
them.
right. All right, knock.
Yeah.
Possibly the most famous biker movie of all time, Easy Rider garnered Oscar nominations for Best Supporting Actor and Best Original Screenplay and made Peter Fonda the star he is today. Name the actor who rode the Billy bike.
Oh, Dennis Hopper.
Hey, he's got his shit together. Well done. All right, Craig, to you. What's the score, Emma?
Knock has one incorrect and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 correct. Craig has 2 incorrect and 1, 2, 3,
Ooh.
4, 5, 6 correct.
Well, hopefully Craig can get this. All right, Craig. Burt Munro was a motorcycle racer from New Zealand, famous for setting a land speed record at Bonneville in 1967 on his 1920 Indian. His story was featured in The World's Fastest Indian, featuring Anthony Hopkins. In the movie, what kind of tree did he pee on?
Oak.
Emma, what was the answer?
I think it was an apple tree, wasn't it?
Lemon tree.
Thank you,
It's a
Doc.
lemon tree.
Lemon tree.
Should we give that to Knock?
No.
That's kind of weird. Like media knowledge is kind of obscure. And
I remembered
strange.
it was a fruity tree.
You had to watch that movie though.
Okay. All right. Back to Knock. All right. And the chopper craze has come and gone over the years. Some say the last peak of popularity started with Jesse James in the 90s. What was the name of his shop in Long Beach?
West Coast Customs. West Coast Choppers.
There you go. West Coast
Saved by the
Choppers.
Bell.
Yes. And I was one of those people who drove down there and stood outside the gate just to watch him pound metal.
Oh, you did that.
I did that.
You're fangirling. That's
I
pretty
did
cool.
that.
That's
I
pretty
did
cool,
that.
dude.
All right, Craig, you ready? On Any Sunday is considered to be the best motorcycle film ever made. One that isn't great, but is still iconic, is the 1991 film Harley Davidson and the Blank Blank. Peanut Gallery?
Marlboro Man.
There it is.
Why is he getting the fucked up media questions?
I should have known that one.
And
I feel like this is slanted.
I
somehow.
just
I
want
think I'm
to.
losing my grip.
I just want to say that mine and Liza's finest acting moment was reenacting the final scene
Yes.
from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
So you haven't even
From the
Courtesy
Handsome Asians.
from the Handsome Asians.
Yeah.
Hey
Okay.
guys,
All right. So is this Knock?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
yes, it is Knock.
Okay, there's only 2 questions left. What's the
Damn.
score, Emma?
So far, we have Knock with 1 wrong and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right.
All right.
Craig with 4 wrong and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right.
Damn, a victory is inevitable.
That can't be right because he's only had 9 questions.
Well, he's wrong. He's wrong on so many levels.
But okay, because this last one is worth 100 points.
For all the ducats.
Okay.
Is
so
this for
listen.
both of us?
No, it's for Creek.
Oh,
No,
just
no, no.
knock.
Let's go,
Sorry,
Craig.
you
Let's
each
go.
have one.
Is it
All
for
right.
me or for him?
This is knock.
Wait, didn't I answer the last one?
No, because
Oh, yeah, that was a
Marlboro.
Okay, that's right. Okay, that's
No.
right.
All right, knock. There have been many memorable motorcycle chases in movies, but one of the most exciting to this day is the L.A. River scene in Terminator 2. What bike was Arnold Schwarzenegger riding?
Oh, it's a Harley. Bad boy.
There it is. Ooh, Craig made a face like maybe he didn't know that. Ooh. Well, let's see if he knows this one because you have to win this. You got to get this right to tie.
You got to be in it to win it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is a long one, so pay attention. During his career, Evel Knievel may have suffered more than 433 bone fractures, earning an entry in the Guinness Book of World Records as a survivor of most bones broken in a lifetime. However, this number could be exaggerated. His son Robbie told a reporter in 2014 that his father had only broken 40 to 50 bones, and Knievel himself claimed he broke 35. Ironically, one of the biggest jumps he attempted and failed did not lead to any broken bones at all, the Snake River jump. What state did it take place in?
Washington.
That is incorrect.
Is it Utah?
That is also incorrect.
Oh.
Idaho.
That is correct.
Is it in Idaho? Oh.
Yeah, remember I rode up his ramp on my KLR 650.
Damn.
Yeah, when Jim and I did our cross-country trip. So, knock, congratulations.
Oh, no, hang on. We're going to do a final tally.
Okay. Pretty sure he won.
So with 1 incorrect and many right, there is knock. With 5 incorrect and not so many right is Craig. However, you are both losers today. The real winner is Liza for reading the questions so beautifully, tied with Emma for keeping score so accurately.
I will
Suck it, losers!
I'll accept that answer. I was prepared to be humiliated,
So
but
thank you for playing.
I'm glad I still am humiliated.
Thank
Nobody
you.
humiliates you like me.
No, that was fun.
Thank you for playing the world's easiest motorcycle quiz. Hey,
No, a fine performance by both of you, I'd like to
real
add.
quick, on our last show, I
Yes.
talked about something that I was going to give myself for Christmas.
Yeah, what do you get yourself?
I got
at
it.
Oh, you got glue
Those things are
2
pretty
pairs
awesome.
of motorcycle gloves, climb gloves.
Are those, I was going to
Love
say, are
these.
those
Try
climbs
this
or
on.
knockoffs?
No, these
Those
are
are-
actual.
They are climbs.
They're not
Yeah,
the knockoffs are called
Check these
clims.
No, these
Not
are.
climbs.
I just love climb gloves. I just can't get enough of them.
They
So-
make good shit.
Does that fit you, Craig?
Almost.
This fits me
Ooh.
perfectly.
Yeah, those
did you say
fingers
you
were
were
long on
wanting to give
no,
these out?
No,
Oh,
these are good.
feeling generous this
No,
new year?
the
We'll
dirt
turn a
bike
new leaf?
gloves were too big for me, but I love the colors. These, yeah.
Oh,
I
these
just-
are fantastic.
I recommend climb gloves. I just love buying them. It's like Emma and her shoes. For me, it's.
Oh, I bought new shoes.
Yes, you did.
I bought new shoes in claret pearl.
Baby got new shoes.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about a segment of our motorcycle community, a type of a biker that I think is the most hardcore biker. And this is not somebody, it's not necessarily because they got so many tattoos and wear leather that make them the most hardcore.
Right.
And it's not their riding skill necessarily. It's not how many bikes they own or how fast they go. No, I want to say that I believe the most hardcore segment of bikers are the type that don't own a car and just have a motorcycle.
Oh, we have one of those in the garage.
We do. Mm-hmm. Who would that be?
I believe Ellie.
And you.
What? Oh, I'm a girl. I am a woman on
Who
the
said
inside.
girl?
Oh, I don't know.
What are you talking
You
about?
said women, right?
No, I did not mention women.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, I think you heard badass biker chicks with tattoos.
Oh God Almighty!
Wow.
Was that my
You're
my
not-
mind there?
Totally not paying
You know
attention.
what? I used all the energy for that game. That's what happened. My brain is fucking mush right now.
I was trying to throw a big compliment to riders like Not.
Oh, thank you.
The most hardcore riders, I think, that don't get the respect they deserve are
it's
the
all right.
ones
It's all right.
that don't have a car and go everywhere in any weather and whenever they need to on motorcycles. They figure out how to do their shopping. They figure out how to get a mattress home or do whatever, right? I've
I've done stupid stuff like that.
They go out in rain because they have to. They have to get to work, right? I've been that person. Emma, you've been that person, right?
I have a long
Craig?
time ago.
Have you been that person?
I've been that person.
And I think back and I'm like, oh my God, like now I think how crazy, but at the time it made sense, right? And
Yeah.
those times that you really need to like move a couch or something, as long as you have friends, you can borrow a car.
That's why you got to have friends. That's why you got to be really
gotta have
nice
friends.
and kind and be around
But-
kind people.
I wanted just to talk a minute about that. You know, I think mad respect. Yeah, Ellie, and then Luke, who was in the garage. He's got 3 bikes, no car. I mean, you make a lot of sacrifices riding in all kinds of weather.
Sure.
Why do you choose to not
Well,
have a car?
You know what it is? It's practicality. Like, in all honesty, I should probably be riding my bicycle everywhere I go in town. I don't live very far from work. And when I was living in Aptos, it was only like a 22-mile commute. But I still find it that, like, if I'm on the bike, it's still my time. And I don't have to really... The fact that you could lane split... Oh, that's okay. Fucking lane splitting is super big. And you don't have to sit around and queue up behind other people. And you're kind of allowed these little kind of gray areas that you could exploit, which is fun. And it's off, the whole freedom aspect of it too. And plus cars are expensive to insure and all that jazz. And yeah.
No, we're not saying it's because you're too broke. That's
No.
or too cheap. We're not saying that. It's because you're badass, man.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm trying to give you credit.
Well, I'll take the credit.
But I'm wondering how many other people out there are that hardcore of a biker. Craig, why were you that person?
I was very young and just out of college and didn't have a car that worked. So I just had this old BMW GS, the great grandfather of today's GS. And it was only a short time, to be honest. My badassery level was short lived. But it was kind of just the circumstances that I worked with. But I agree with Knock. There was a certain practicality to have it and a certain kind of freedom that you could still go wherever you wanted to go, but just simply, you just had 2 wheels to take you there.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I guess I was young and dumb too, and I didn't have one for 3 years in Boston.
Yeah.
How was riding in those winters?
Yeah, I rode year round. I mean, you just did what you had to do, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't think that much of it, but people don't talk about that segment of riders.
Well, it's like, I'm not like patting myself on the back about it. Oh yeah, I'm hardcore. It's just one of the things
No,
I
but
do.
it is.
Like,
It is. And I just wanted to acknowledge it to any
Well-
listeners out there who are that rider. Like, that is hardcore. You deserve some recognition. Even if you're just commuting to work and going
Yeah.
shopping and doing little stuff. It's not about your compliment. It's about the commitment. That is hardcore.
You know what it is like I remember just being a little kid riding around on my bicycle when I first learned how to like balance a bicycle. And I would ride fucking everywhere. And I would eat shit all the goddamn time. But I had so much fun doing it. And this is, I mean, obviously trying to eat so much shit on a motorbike. But like, this is kind of like the grown-up version of that, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to acknowledge it. And Knock, you are one of those. And, I'm proud that you're one of our people. And it's something
Oh, thank you.
that people don't use as a measure of badass, hardcore biker shit. And it should be. And we've all been there. And the fact that you're still there and haven't grown up
It's when you grow up, it's your own fault.
And it's not that you couldn't afford it. You can have a car. You just choose to have a bunch of bikes.
Yeah.
And
Way too many bikes. It's only got, it was only like 3 bikes, but it's still, it's just like, yeah, running out of room.
Yeah. So, I wanted to, let's see. I wanted to get to emails. I think we're covering everything. We've got a lot of emails to cover.
We have.
Let's start with, Craig and I have 2. These are, when we talked about the new Easy Rider movie that's coming out, and we asked people to send in their pitch, and I have a really good one here. So I want you to hear this. This is almost like an elevator pitch. This comes from, I believe it's Joris, but I would think it's yours, but I'm going to go with Joris. He says, hi, Misfits. I'm responding to your challenge to reimagine Easy Rider for the present day. Here goes. Starts with a pair of young friends, one black and one white, maybe one male, maybe one female, part of a group of urban stunters in Baltimore or D.C. A good 10 minutes of stunting action, but then there's a bad crash that severely injures a bystander. Pair panics, takes off on unlicensed dirt bikes into the country, possible police chase, to what looks like an abandoned farm. Farm actually inhabited by an irritable old man, played by either Clint Eastwood, Tom Hanks, or maybe Naked Jim. I like that.
I vote for Naked Jim.
Old man has a pair of ancient bikes, a 1948 Indian Chief and a 1965 BMW R69S that he and his deceased wife rode across the country in the 70s. Scenes of growing mutual respect and understanding between old and young. Old man mentors the youth in fixing up the bikes, then lets them take the bikes for a cross-country trip, maybe to find one lad's long-lost father. Adventures along the way, discover the beauty of America and the goodness in most people. Learn to ride responsibly. Find brother or sisterhood among other bikers. Maybe raising money for a GoFundMe for those injured by urban stunter antics. Final scene.
It's black people, right? Just say black people. Urban.
Final scene on the PCH as the pair are on their way to the recycle garage to appear on the podcast. A distracted driver in an SUV hits them head on. Slow motion shot in silence of both bikes and riders dropping over the edge into the Pacific.
Nice.
Cue. All they wanted was to be free.
Yeah.
Sorry, sad ending like the original, but no pandering to sentiment here. I figure that today a distracted driver is more of a hazard than resentful rednecks and pickups were in the original. No idea.
It would be a Tesla driver.
No idea who to cast for the pair, but ideally give a break to some new faces. FYI, my Christmas birthday present to myself is a 2023 Vespa GTS 300. Awesome.
Nice.
In classic lightly lovely green, which just arrived at the dealer and awaits my collection. For a friend, I would buy a set of ski lights, which are small lights for the front and or back of the bike that flicker slightly to improve increases attention. Thanks for all you do.
Conspicuosity? Is that a word?
Conspicuity.
Conspicuity.
Conspicuity, yeah. Thanks for all you do and Happy New Year to y'all, Joris. Thanks,
Joris. Appreciate it.
Craig, you also have a pitch, yeah?
I do.
I gotta say, I did like that pitch.
I like it.
It was well thought out.
No, it's very well thought out.
Yeah. Into it.
Very well thought out. I thought it was great.
We have an email here from Joe Troy.
What
Hey,
do you know,
That's
Joe?
Puppy. That's Puppy.
Wow.
Howdy, Misfits.
Wow.
Joe, a.k.a. Puppy, here out of Atlanta.
I remember Puppy.
Just wanted to say
Calm down. Jeez.
Just wanted to say I had a
going on right
blast
now?
at the 500th weekend.
Of
Not
course he
only
did.
getting to meet all of you, but
yeah.
also getting some of the guys from Stumpistan again and
Ooh.
experience the beautiful sunny Santa Cruz weather.
I got to see his junk.
Did you really?
I did. I got a picture. You want to see it?
Yes.
Literal, like a picture of a
I
trash
wanted
can.
to share my bike car twin pair with all of you and see if you agree. I actually own the car twin to my bike right now. My Yamaha MT-09 car twin is a Ford Focus ST.
Astute.
They are both quick, nimble, but still practical enough that I can justify owning them. Both are also awesome for track days. I also wanted to fill you in on my first vintage motorcycle, purchased not a week after I got back from Georgia. Seems you guys have a pretty good knack for influencing me to buy projects. I picked up this 75 Z50 almost exclusively for Mid-Ohio for
nice.
the princely sum of 100 crisp dineros.
Nice. Good deal.
Nice.
Now before...
Hold on a second. Emma's losing her shit because this is literally the first time she's ever seen a penis.
Now, before any of the listeners get their knockers in a bunch, or knickers, I should say, the motor likely needs a lot of work, and I have contemplated just parting the thing out since it's missing so many bits and pieces. Pictures are attached of the bikes in the car. Thanks again for all of you. Love, Puppy. P.S.
Thanks, Puppy.
Liza, sell the damn Africa Twin already. You could buy 2 stretched boosas for that kind of dosh.
And I'm actually going to make a claim. So he said he had his own twin. What was the car and the motorcycle?
MT-09 and Ford Focus ST.
So, Emma, would you say that penis is the Ford Focus of the penis world?
Oh, God.
I mean, it's functional.
Stop. Put it away. I'm getting jealous. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Thank you, puppy. Should I explain why I have a picture of his?
No, I think you
No.
should.
Well,
It's
whatever.
it's a group shot. It's a group shot. Let's just say.
Oh, you know who famously did that was the that really famous guy who jumped the Great Escape. What's his name?
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen. There's a photo of him like looking all casual, but what they did is they cropped it off and he had his dick out. It was one of the more famous ones.
No, this was in the men's room.
Yeah.
After our event, and yeah, we stormed in there, and yeah,
Pervert.
Anyway, thank you, puppy. All right, Emma, you got one there?
I do indeed. And I have a message here from Stephanie Feld.
Yes. Hey,
And
Stephanie.
it goes,
Hey.
Hi, everybody. I only started listening to your podcast a few weeks ago, but I wanted to throw something out there that has been bothering me for years.
Ooh.
I work for a small independent motorcycle shop in Pennsylvania, and we constantly get calls from people who bought one of those crappy, but not that cheap, Chinese bikes on the interweb or from Tractor Supply. And the thing broke immediately, and they want us to fix it.
Right.
Ugh.
You all have mentioned that the quality of the parts is fundamentally junk. You can't really fix the bikes, which is why we seldom agree to work on them. But here's the real question. Why are these motor vehicles even allowed to be sold in this country without some kind of manufacturer or dealer support network? I've heard that Tesla is fighting to be allowed to sell cars outside the dealerships, and apparently there are laws in the USA that forbid that. New cars come from dealerships that can repair and support them. So why are these mini bikes, dirt bikes and quads, many of which end up in the possession of our precious children, allowed to be sold in this country without any parts packing or repair facilities provided by the manufacturers? I would love to hear if you people could address this in one of your podcasts. If you already have, I would love to hear it. It's
Emissions.
a
Hold on.
very good
They're not
question,
homologated.
Stephanie.
So she answered the question. Who did she say they end up in the hands of?
Farmers, randos.
No,
Children.
children, because these are toys. They are sold
Right.
as toys,
yeah.
not vehicles.
Yeah, they don't pass any kind of NHTSA kind of safety regulation, any of that stuff.
Exactly.
It's all private.
And a lot of the ones that are sold via Tractor Supply are sold in kit form.
Not street legal.
Not a complete
No,
motorcycle.
none of these are street legal.
Yeah, so it's
These are
sold in
toys.
kit form, so it doesn't have to... When you sell something in kit form, it doesn't have to adhere to vehicle regulations of any description, and Tractor Supply offer a building service for, $50, whatever. We'll assemble this thing for you, probably pretty haphazardly as well. But they're sold as kits, and that's how you kind of negate the whole thing. But Stephanie brings up a very, very valid point. I mean, we love our children. I think Nock has more experience of children than anybody else in this room. You spend a lot of time around small children, don't you?
One small child.
Yeah, and they're quite durable, but you wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really want to break one. On an inferior motorbike because blood comes out and bones and stuff like that.
They're only so rubbery.
Yes, exactly. So we want to take care of little children, and putting them on Chinese bikes is not necessarily responsible parenting or uncling or auntieing.
So all of these bikes listed are considered pit bikes or dirt bikes. These are toys. Where this does start to become a problem, and what we've talked about when we talked about the New York bikes, there are a lot of these electric bikes and scooters that are being sold, and you can go on Amazon and buy some of these bikes.
Yes,
that are full-size bikes that do 45 miles an hour, but aren't actually street legal. And people buy them thinking they'll get a title. What they get is a certificate that is not a title. It's a made up thing. And so there are a lot of these electric bikes and scooters that are being introduced and sold as street bikes that aren't legal. So there is a growing problem. But these bikes listed, if you're buying a bike at Tractor Supply or at where
Well, I mean, like the positive, the caveat is like it gets kids into motorcycling. Kenny Robbins had his start on a fucking farm bike and shit like that,
The thing, too, is when you go into history, like Zero Motorcycles is a perfect example. When Zero first came out, they sold a dirt bike because you do not have to meet all the requirements, the DOT requirements, to put a bike on the street. There have to be lights and emissions and blah, blah, blah. I know Zero doesn't have emissions, but there's a lot of things that have to meet all these requirements. Dirt bikes don't.
Yeah, lower hurdle to jump over.
Exactly. So the first Zeros that came out were not street legal. They were just sold as dirt bikes.
Off-road use
because
only.
it is almost the same as equivalent to a toy. It doesn't meet any requirements. I'm not even sure if any of technically, like an XR100 dirt bike, it's not meeting any DMV or DOT
No,
requirements.
it's not. And what you're relying, and there's no warranty with them as well.
It's not until you get into something that's plated.
Right. If you go into a dealership and buy a Honda XR100 as an example, it doesn't have to meet any DOT requirements. It's not subject to NHTSA recalls and regulations. And there's no warranty as well. I mean, it could blow up on the first day. And you bring it back to the dealership and say, I bought this XR100 brand new, and it blew up on the first day. And well, tough, because it doesn't have a warranty.
Are these not warranted?
No competition bike's got a warranty. However, what you are relying on is the fact that Honda and Yamaha and Kawasaki and KTM and so on and so forth have all got a very, very good reputation.
Yeah.
And they are not going to destroy their reputation on basically a child's bike. And, knowing how conservatively run Honda are, I mean, they're going to put special attention on children's bikes to make them absolutely fail-safe, to make it the safest product for a child to ride, because that's what Honda does, and that's what Yamaha does, and that's what KTM does, and so on and so forth.
So there you go. That's why they're dirt bikes.
Multiple reasons.
All right, so Knock, you got one there?
Yes, I got one. Happy New Year's, Misfits. It's Mike D from SoCal.
Yo, Mike D.
Hey, come on, Mike D.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not keen on remakes of classic movies, but anything having to do with motorcycles, I'll give it a watch. By the way, Liza, since you've asked me, here's my story pitch.
All right.
A father and son whose relationship is estranged by the old man, drugs, drinking, find themselves riding across country together to attend the funeral of a father's ex-wife's son's beloved mom. Okay. Both men are bikers, builders, riders. However, the son is into classic English bikes, and the father is into old shovels, pans, I guess American metric cruisers or American cruisers?
Yes.
Yeah. Actors, dad played by either Mickey Rourke or Christian Bale. The son played by any one of them Spider-Man young dudes. Now the bikes. Son rides new classic Bonnie, and dad rides that chain frame build by the late, great Indian Larry. Yeah, okay. Storyline will center, of course, around the mending or not of the relationship between the two as they travel. The remake might suck, but in my opinion, any motorcycle movie is like a pizza. It can never be really bad. They're just degrees of good.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Father and son stories are always get people. I think that's a thing.
All right, I have one more here.
I'm into
We
it.
need to get through this. 'cause we're-
How was your relationship with your father, Knock?
Oh, fuck him. He's dead. I don't worry about that now.
Craig?
Very good, very good.
There
but
you go.
It
So-
wasn't always, but
Yeah, but
my
yeah.
dad used to be on the mantle, but he's not.
No, you don't count, Liza, because you're a girl. It's all about your
All right,
relationship with your
back to
mom.
me,
All
back to
right,
me.
back
we
to
got
you.
room for time. You have one more. We got two more. Go for it, Emma.
Okay, hello. This is from Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hello, darlings and fellow misfits. I was looking for a good history book on motorcycles and couldn't seem to find one on the interwebs. That got me wishing for a brilliant motorcycle history book. And who is more equipped than Emma to write? With her great storytelling ability, dare I say, bravado. She would be the perfect person to write and narrate an audiobook on the history of motorbikes.
I think I'm just going to take all of our history holes and do text to
And go throw in
put it out in a book.
a misfit twist in what would otherwise be a classy historical motorcycle endeavour. One random page could just be a full-page picture of an opossum-shaped dildo with no explanation thereof and mention in the book. Anyways, tried to connect with you all at Vintage Days, but pulled in right when that crazy weather was hitting and hung out under utility shed for 3 hours instead. Was really looking forward to the Pakistan talk, but missed out. Catch you next time. Matt from Pittsburgh. That's
Hey.
Pittsburgh, PA.
I will say,
Pittsburgh is dope.
there was a book. I think I own it somewhere that I found that was fascinating. That you'll have to do some search, but I think it was basically it was called like Barn Find Motorcycles, and it was all these individual stories that people told of these barn finds, and some of them were fascinating. There were things like in Germany, bikes that had been dismantled because they were collecting all these things to make tanks and shit, and they had to be dismantled and hidden in the basement, and somebody finds it in like 1998 or something, you know.
Oh, for materials, war materials.
Just like there's a lot of fascinating stories, and when they dig into not just the hunt and how they found it and the conditions it's in, but how it came to be there. There's a lot of really cool stories. So that was one I found. I thought it was called like Barn Find.
I feel that's why
almost anything by Ian Falloon is amazing as well. He dives into the histories of some of these storied brands, and I don't know if that's exact. They're kind of individual. He might have some books out there on more general, like all motorcycles. I'm not exactly sure, but he's a great author as well. But I love the idea of Emma narrating a moto book. I'm all for that. Let me know how we make that happen.
When you said you had read a very interesting book, I thought, because my psychiatrist has always been threatened to release the notes that she made of my shoe fetish, and I think that would make an incredible book, although quite long, probably about 1,000 pages long.
I guess it explains why American Pickers and shows like that on whatever channels.
Well, you know, I mean, people are very nostalgic about what's happened in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's something so alluring about going into a shed or a barn or even somebody's back room and finding something that's been gathering dust and just propping up the corner for 30, 40, 50, 60 years and resurrecting it and actually hearing this thing come to life.
Hey, I found it.
Yes.
And you can buy it online. And it's called The Vincent in the Barn. Great
I know that
Stories
book.
Of Motorcycle Archaeology.
So
It's a good book.
the best chapter in that book is about Field Marshal Montgomery. And my friends who work at British
Monty himself.
Well, supposedly Monty's bike, and it was a fake. And my friends who work at British Sports Cars in San Luis Obispo were featured in that chapter. I think it was Monty's Beezer is the last chapter.
What I didn't realize is they came out with another book called The Harley in the Barn, More Great Tales of Motorcycle Archaeology by Tom Cotter.
They could just keep making those
But
forever.
it's so delicious. And I mean, even after all these years, when I get a bike in that I know hasn't run in decades, and I first hear its voice, God, it's a thrill.
Yeah, you think they're gonna make one called a Sweet Jixer in the Barn?
Eventually.
Yeah, I mean like a late '80s thing.
You know the most delicious sound to me when I heard Rufus's voice, Because Rufus was in that garage for
Yeah, I bet.
20 years.
I think it's going to be Sweet Jixer in the back of the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. But no,
With a milk crate attached to it for delivery.
when I heard Rufus for the first time and I heard his voice, I'm like, oh dear God, what have I got?
All right, I've
Rufus
got one
is
more.
pretty
We're
dope.
going over time, but this one is worth it.
Oh, man. Okay, here we go.
And this one is from Jesse. He says, just got done
Jessa!
what I believe was episode 498, so catching up. And in it, there was some discussion on motorcycle fuel filters.
Yeah.
I did find it quite interesting, as I'm used to automobiles to usually have a filter. My old
Yes.
Dodge diesels, my F350.
Yes.
Of course, I use those inline filters on my old El Camino.
Yes.
But I have no idea what it came with from the factory. Something that you've probably heard of but did not come up in your discussions is Googletech filters. If you aren't familiar, you might find them interesting. They are a filter that cleans your fuel as you pour it into the tank.
Oh, is it a sock over the neck?
I think I've seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it says it even keeps water from passing through it into the tank. So you can mount it into your fill valve and fill hole. And then, so it's right there. This would be particularly helpful for people traveling abroad. They have kits for many popular bikes, including Africa Twins and my 1290. At about $60 to $100, this seems like a great deal. Thanks for a great, informative, and entertaining podcast. Your friend Jesse.
It's sock filters. Yeah, these are
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
They're great
That is
for,
a great example.
Yeah, they're you could definitely get them for dirt bikes because that's like if
it's
you're doing
good
enduro
for
stuff. Yeah.
the fuel going in. It's not good if your problem is the tank, like on my KZ that
Right.
kept having rust. But that is a great suggestion.
You put one of these if you're going to some place where the fuel might be not the best quality, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to me when I was riding cross country in my KTM, and it clogged up the filters, and
Indeed.
it was fun from there. So, there you have it. Another episode. In the bag. 2023.
Well, the first episode of
Inaugural.
2023.
Not so bad.
Not so bad. Next week, we are going to be talking about all the things we have planned for 23.
Oh.
And there is a lot.
One moto show? Yeah.
Yes. Well, coming up, the first thing coming up is actually AIM Expo.
AIM Expo, One Moto Show, Vintage Days.
And
what else?
this is shaping up to
Whale.
be interesting. We're going to have a bunch of us going. And Craig is coming for the first time. Oh,
sick.
You've not traveled with the Misfits.
I'm very excited.
Find,
Very
if you
excited.
go to Vegas, find the nearest slot machine that Liza can put her fingers into and let her win a bunch of shit and buy you steak
I've got
dinner.
the juju.
She's got the fucking juju, man. It's great.
I would go pick a machine for him and just let him win a little bit of money.
Would you like a Misfits top tip, Craig?
Of course.
Wear durable underpants.
Yeah. I'll bring my finest. I'll bring my thickest that I have.
Hermetically seal your cock and balls.
So, yeah, we're going to get the rest of the crew back next week. We've got a lot of stuff planning for 2023.
Well, I hope
And-
John is going to be released from Boulder Creek. He might be
By
trapped.
February,
Oh my
hopefully.
gosh.
Lord of the
One,
Flies.
one
over there.
could hope.
There's something I've been working on that I think we're going to be announcing as well.
Your constipation again?
Nope. No, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. You'll see. But we got a lot of shows we're going to.
Really big shoes.
Trying to get Craig to come to Vintage Days. I think we might have a massive turnout of Misfits.
Well, of course,
Vintage
I
Days.
shan't be there because I will be in
yes.
Italy.
Right.
Ciao, bella.
Well, that's okay because that's one less drunk
Is
to take care of.
Phil going to Italy with you this time? Is he going to be able to?
Don't know.
Oh, shit.
Don't know.
No, he'll be at Vintage Days. Hey, listen, I am quite a good drunk. I'm low maintenance drunk. I'm not running around looking
feel
for
like-
people to fight.
I feel like you're a very chill drunk person. I think I might have hung out with you
No, but like
before.
I said, you are becoming a little more. Let's just say.
What's the euphemism, Liza?
I'm. She. Yeah. Well, how would you say it, Emma?
What?
I'm not going to say it. But she's looking at people like they're meat sometimes. I'm just going to say.
Oh, God.
Well, knock. You had to contact HR today.
Several times.
Yes, okay.
Just because I sat on
written
your
up-
knee and told you what I want for Christmas next year.
Yeah.
Well, like now, if you say it like that,
Yeah, no, it get.
Knox just upset because I sat on his knee and he got a boner.
Oh,
Maybe.
come on. All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, all right. We
Will
gotta
not,
shut this
will
down.
not
We gotta shut
confirm
this
or
down.
deny that.
We got to
gotta
shut
semi.
this down.
It's like the whole time thinking, why does she only do this in public? Why can't you do this in private? Fuck!
This is where we get to thank everybody. Thanks for sending all those emails and keep them coming.
Yes.
I want to know, what do you think are good and bad ideas
Yes,
in the
yes,
motorcycle
yes.
world, especially good ideas that failed and bad ideas that succeeded.
Right.
I think that there are some. And one
You
we
know
didn't
what
even-
was a bad idea that succeeded?
What?
This podcast?
Yeah.
Hey!
Well, one we didn't even get into, but just to give a shout out. I think when it came out, the first BMW GS was a bad idea. A big, heavy dirt bike. Who'd have thunk?
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk? And if it wasn't for Dakar, we wouldn't have a lot of
Well,
bikes.
Just
Dakar-
kept getting heavier and heavier.
Dakar's
there you go.
responsible for a whole slew of bikes.
Well, let's maybe get into it a little bit next week.
Yeah, I'd
because
like that.
we can have a more of an update on what's going on with Dakar. If you want to follow Dakar, Red Bull TV. That's what we were running out.
Today was the first day.
Today was the first
Oh,
day.
it's great.
Red Bull TV, for anyone with any smart device, it's free.
Yep.
And they have wonderful coverage there.
Yeah.
Really great coverage. I love seeing the giant trucks.
oh, the trucks
Oh,
are
the
the
trophy
best.
cars are amazing.
Oh, my God.
Things are crazy.
Crazy. So,
Emma and I are building a team.
Yeah, we're going to. So if anybody is listening to this who's a multimillionaire and want to sponsor me and Craig and one other to drive a giant truck around the Dakar Rally in 24, please reach out.
Or
We
Baja
need about
1000. Yeah, we need about
$250,000.
200K. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
so keep,
Even less.
$250,000.
Whatever you want to donate.
so keep those emails coming. You can send them to motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com and you can find the links to stuff. I just updated our calendar there.
Oh,
The
great.
things we got planned for 23, and I'll be adding more as we go. And also, huge thanks to our Patreon subscribers
Who are easily the
who
finest of humanity has
helped
to offer.
helped Santa out in putting a TV in the garage.
Hell yeah.
So we appreciate that.
Thanks, y'all.
Many thanks.
So I think that's it.
I think
right.
that's it.
Thanks everyone for listening. Happy New Year. Let's get out of here. This is Liza.
Emma, darling.
Prius drivers need to learn to drive.
That was his bottom.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.
You my fire. Shit, is it G or A? I can't remember.